Hey guys, how's it going? In this video we're going to go over 6 worked examples to show you how to do problems involving absolute refractive index, speed and wavelength. Now if you haven't already done so, check out my previous video covering the theory on this topic, and that way you can apply what you learned in that video to this one. So let's get going. Question 1 says the speed of light in air is 3 times 10 to the 8 meters per second. Calculate the speed of light in glycerol, which has a refractive index N of 1.47. Well, writing down what we know from the question, we're trying to find V2, the speed of light in the denser medium. We know the absolute refractive index N is 1.47, and V1, the speed of light in air, is 3 times 10 to the 8 meters per second. So writing down our equation relating N, V1 and V2, we have N equals V1 over V2. Substituting in the numbers gives 1.47 equals 3 times 10 to the 8 divided by V2. And to rearrange for V2, we can then multiply both sides by V2 and then divide by 1.47, or we can just cross multiply to swap these two terms. So we end up with V2 equals 3 times 10 to the 8 divided by 1.47, and if you put that into your calculator, you should get an answer for V2 of 2 times 10 to the 8 meters per second. Question 2 says the speed of a ray of light in air is 3.00 times 10 to the 8 meters per second, and the speed of the same light in diamond is 1.24 times 10 to the 8 meters per second. Calculate the absolute refractive index of diamond. So writing down what we know from the question, we're trying to find N. We know that V1, the speed of light in air, is 3.00 times 10 to the 8 meters per second, and we know V2, the speed of light in the diamond, is 1.24 times 10 to the 8 meters per second. So writing down our equation, we have N equals V1 over V2. Substituting in the numbers gives 3.00 times 10 to the 8 divided by 1.24 times 10 to the 8. And if you put that into your calculator, you should get an answer of 2.42 for N. Now comparing that with the absolute refractive index for diamond from the datasheet, you'll see that we've got the same answer, so that's a good check. Question 3 says a ray of light shines into a salt solution as shown. So you'll see the light's going from air into a denser salt solution, and in part A it says calculate the refractive index of the salt solution. Well, we're given some angles here which we can use, so writing down what we know from the question, we're trying to find N, the absolute refractive index. We know that θ1, the angle in air, is 45 degrees. That's the angle of incidence between the normal and the incident ray there. And then the angle θ2 is the angle of refraction, which is measured between the normal and the refracted ray inside the salt solution, which has a value of 31 degrees. Writing down our equation relating N, θ1 and θ2, we have N equals sin θ1 over sin θ2. Substituting in the numbers gives sine of 45 divided by sine of 31, and putting that into your calculator should give you an answer of 1.37. Part B says calculate the velocity of light in the salt solution. So here we want to find the velocity in the denser medium, which will be V2, as opposed to V1, which is the speed of light in air. So we're trying to find V2. We know that N is 1.37, which we just calculated in part A, and V1, the speed of light in air, is 3 times 10 to the 8 meters per second. So writing down our equation relating N, V1 and V2, we have N equals V1 over V2. Substituting in the numbers gives 1.37 equals 3 times 10 to the 8 divided by V2, and then cross multiplying or swapping V2 and 1.37 round, we get 3 times 10 to the 8 divided by 1.37. Putting that into your calculator will give us a value for V2 of 2.2 times 10 to the 8 meters per second. Question 4 says monochromatic light has a wavelength of 500 nanometers in air. Calculate the wavelength of this light in glycerol, which is a refractive index N of 1.47. Well, we want to find the wavelength of the light in the denser medium, which is going to be lambda 2. So we're trying to find lambda 2 here. We know that N is 1.47 and lambda 1 is the wavelength of light in air, remember, which is this value here. So we've got 500 nanometers, which we can rewrite as 500 times 10 to the minus 9 meters. Writing down our equation now relating N, lambda 1 and lambda 2, we have N equals lambda 1 over lambda 2. Substituting in the numbers gives 1.47 equals 500 times 10 to the minus 9 divided by lambda 2. And then to get lambda 2 on its own, we can multiply both sides by lambda 2 and then divide both sides by 1.47. Or you can just cross multiply to swap lambda 2 and 1.47 round. So if we do that, we get lambda 2 equals 500 times 10 to the minus 9 divided by 1.47. And putting that into your calculator should give you an answer of 3.40 times 10 to the minus 7 meters. Or that's the same, remember, as 340 nanometers. Question 5 says laser light has a wavelength of 450 nanometers in glass, which has a refractive index N of 1.50. Part A says calculate the wavelength of this light in air. Well, if we're trying to find the wavelength of light in air, that's going to be lambda 1, remember, not lambda 2. So we're trying to find lambda 1 here, and we know that N is 1.50, and the wavelength of light in the glass lambda 2 is 450 nanometers, which we can rewrite in meters, so that's 450 times 10 to the minus 9 meters. Writing down our equation now relating N, lambda 1 and lambda 2, we have N equals lambda 1 divided by lambda 2. Substituting in the numbers gives 1.50 equals lambda 1 divided by 450 times 10 to the minus 9. And then to get lambda 1 on its own, we can multiply both sides by 450 times 10 to the minus 9. So doing 1.50 times 450 times 10 to the minus 9 in your calculator gives a value for lambda 1 of 6.75 times 10 to the minus 7 meters. Or remember, that's the same as 675 nanometers. Part B says, what colour of light is this in air? Now if we jump to the datasheet, you'll see we've got refractive indices here, but we're more interested in these spectral line wavelengths. So you'll see the closest value we've got to 675 nanometers is 656, which corresponds to the colour red. So we could say that this 675 nanometers corresponds to red light. So for what colour is this light in air, we can say red. Lastly, question 6 says a ray of laser light travels from air to water which has a refractive index N of 1.33 as shown. So there's our air on the top and our water on the bottom, and we're told that this angle is theta 1 for the angle of incidence and theta 2 for the water. And it says in part A, given that theta 1 is 25 degrees, calculate theta 2. So we want the angle of refraction in the denser medium. So writing down what we know from the question, we're trying to find theta 2. We know that N is 1.33 for the denser medium and theta 1 is 25 degrees. So writing down our equation relating N, theta 1 and theta 2, we have N equals sine theta 1 over sine theta 2. Substituting in the numbers gives 1.33 equals sine 25 over sine theta 2. Rearranging for sine theta 2, we can multiply both sides by sine theta 2 and then divide both sides by 1.33, or we can just cross multiply to swap these two terms round. So we get sine theta 2 equals sine 25 divided by 1.33, and if you put that into your calculator, you should get an answer for sine theta 2 of 0.317 and so on. And keeping all those digits in your calculator and then doing inverse sine or shift sine, you should get an answer for theta 2 of 18.5 degrees. Lastly, part B says if the wavelength of the laser light in air is 633 nanometers, find the wavelength in water. So we're trying to find the wavelength in the denser medium, which is lambda 2. We know that theta 1, the angle of incidence, is 25 degrees, and we know theta 2, the angle of refraction now, is 18.5 degrees, which we just calculated. And we know lambda 1, the wavelength of light in air, is 633 nanometers, which we can convert into meters. So that's the same as 633 times 10 to the minus 9 meters. Now that's all the data we have, so let's use the relationship between the angles and the wavelengths, which we can get from the relationship sheet. So it looks like this. So we have sine theta 1 over sine theta 2 equals lambda 1 over lambda 2. We don't need to use n here or anything to do with the speeds. So substituting in the numbers, we have sine 25 divided by sine 18.5 is equal to 633 times 10 to the minus 9 divided by lambda 2. And then to get lambda 2 on its own, we can cross multiply. So that's the same as doing top left times the bottom right is equal to the top right times the bottom left. So we have sine 25 times lambda 2 is equal to 633 times 10 to the minus 9 times sine of 18.5. And then to get lambda 2 on its own, once you've done the bottom left times the top right, you can divide both sides by sine of 25 to get an answer in your calculator of lambda 2 equals 4.75 times 10 to the minus 7 meters. Or that's the same as writing 475 nanometers. And it says to note that we could have used n equals lambda 1 over lambda 2 here instead, since we knew what n is for the denser medium, 1.33 for the water. That's all for this video, folks. Thanks for watching. If you made it to the end, I really appreciate it. Make sure to give the video one of these, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.